Hello friends, welcome to Salty Smiles in a Dash. My name is Alan, this is Shio, and today we are making Filipino pork adobo. Woo! In 8 minutes. It's an Instapot 8 minutes, so it's not like technically 8 from start to finish, but it's pretty close. It's a super fast, super quick way to get this awesome dish on the table. Let's just get started. So the first thing we're going to need to do is pull out our Instapot. Okay. My Instapot needs a name. What's your name? So Filipino pork adobo is quite different than like a South American, Latin American adobo. It is meat that is marinated in soy and vinegar predominantly, with a huge boost of flavor from bay leaves and peppercorns. This is my version of Filipino pork adobo, and I like to add some creamy aspects to it. First things first, let's talk about making this dish in 8 minutes. For the sake of Salty Smiles in a Dash, I am not going to saute anything beforehand. Let's go in. This is stew pork. Pork that's cut from, I used the Boston butt, and I cut it into 1.5 2-inch pieces, good pieces for stewing. That's gonna go straight into the pot. And now let's add our veggies. So I have a whole large onion that's been sliced into slivers, 6 cloves of garlic, and a large potato, also cut into stewing size chunks. We're gonna throw all this in. The next thing will be the flavor components. So I am going to add a teaspoon of coarsely cracked pepper. I use a mortar and pestle to crack my pepper. Lots of times people will throw in whole peppercorns into this dish. I like to crack it just a little bit. I find it to be nicer, but you do you. I'm actually going to add a little bit more pepper. So that's 2 teaspoons of coarsely ground black pepper. Next thing is our bay leaves. So I'm going to add not 1, not 2, but 3 fresh bay leaves into this. And then the final thing to make this all into pork adobo and also to make it Instapot friendly is our sauce mixture. This is a 1/3 cup of water, a 1/3 cup of soy sauce, a 1/3 cup of vinegar, and then 6 ounces of coconut milk, which is the creamy aspect I was talking about. So give this all a mix. Throw this into the pot. That's almost it. Everything's in the pot. The final touch is this needs something sweet, just a little sweet to help balance out all of those big flavors. There's a 1/3 of a cup of soy sauce in here, and there's a 1/3 of a cup of vinegar, and pork is salty by nature. So we're going to add a tablespoon of honey. And I'm just gonna eyeball it. You could also do sugar, but I have this really lovely honey, so why not utilize it? Whoop. Props if you have friends who are beekeepers. Thanks. This stuff is great. I'm gonna show you what it looks like inside the pot before I set it. And I'm also gonna give this one stir before we set it. So let's grab something to stir it with. Okay, so this is what it looks like inside the pot. So just give everything just a good, mix over. It looks great, doesn't it? So now I'm just going to put the lid on the Instapot. We're gonna set it to sealing, and we're gonna set it to pressure cook for 8 minutes. And now we're done. And in about, I would say, like 16 minutes, I would say in about 16 to 20 minutes, we're going to have dinner or lunch or whatever you're gonna serve this with. So what are you gonna do in your spare time now that you have dinner going? I would suggest making some fresh rice. I've already made rice, and we're going to clean up these dishes, and I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's done cooking. This is done. It actually has no pressure anymore because it has been sitting for a bit. I'm going to show you guys what it looks inside before we plate it up. The Instapot will always look crazy inside, but this just needs to be stirred. It actually doesn't look that bad, but it does look a little separated. But if you stir this a little bit, it'll all come together. Okie dokie. I'm going to get myself some rice, and we are going to try this adobo. You can't have adobo without plain white rice. No way. I also made myself a little condiment, and this is just chilies and vinegar. It's gonna go great with this adobo. Okay, let's get some adobo. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so good. This is such a perfect, comforting, hearty meal. And the pork. Let me show you. The pork is going to be spoon tender in 8 minutes of cooking. Watch. Okay, watch this. Let's go for this one. Okay, ready? Literally, no, just a spoon, 1 spoon. Isn't that crazy? Salty smiles and a dash, pork adobo. Sarap-licious. This is masarap, so good. It's so good, oh my gosh. Tangy, creamy, soy, just like perfectly savory. And the best part is that sauce with the rice, spoon and fork. Man, there's some of this chili vinegar too. Ooh boy. Thanks guys for watching Salty Smiles and a Dash. If you like this recipe and this content, please hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps me out. And if you make this adobo in 8 minutes, let me know in the comments. Let me know if you like it. I bet you will. I'm gonna keep eating this. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay smiling guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.